All right. Here with Sarah, Super 32 quarterfinals action. Big up. Is it an upset? Buciello goes down. It's first loss like ever at Super 32.
I think he lost once within middle school early on, maybe.
Well, I think he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. Pretty good wrestler. So I hosted my first tournament director last week. Oh my gosh, it was hard. It was a little unorganized. I have so much more respect for you guys, more than I already did. Tell me, did you feel like it was a big cluster for when you got going and you were learning how to do tournaments?
Well, when Dave and I started the Super 32, we had already had lots of experience running other tournaments, so we already knew a lot of what to do, what not to do, but there's still always a lot of learning and growing with any event. But yeah, it's not as easy as everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to start a tournament. It's easy, and there's so many little things that you don't know until you get into it.
So tell me, we were talking a little bit about it. I'm like with this new group, and I figured out, hey, some people are great to work with, and some people are far from great to work with. Tell me a little bit about the crew that you guys have, because I've been coming since 2008, and some faces I've been here every year.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, how many of the people that are working with us now have been with us from the beginning, and it's a small group of 4 or 5, but then most of who's with us now has been here since we moved it to the Greensboro Coliseum. So this is our 14th year here, and you just, the key is find good people, and we've had the people, like you said, that some are great, some maybe not. And those people fall off as it goes on because they're just not up to it. But the ones that'll work hard, there's that fine line between letting them work hard but not taking your good people and just working them into the ground, and then they don't want to come back. So this crew we have here now, they know it's not easy. It's going to be long days and they're going to work hard, but they also know we're going to take care of them. But we had someone here last night, and it was going to be a late night putting together the brackets for the elementary, middle school, and girls divisions, and there was someone who didn't have a specific role right then but was going to wait around for everyone else to finish, which was going to be another couple of hours, and I almost physically dragged him out of the building, but I said, you need to go. You were the last one here last night. You're not going to be here your work for the day is done. You go ahead and go. And he didn't want to leave because he's like, we're all a part of this together.
He's a wrestler,
and some people want to do that, and that's when as tournament director you have to step in and say, no, because I need you here at 6:30 tomorrow morning ready to go, and you don't need whatever. So it's you got to take care of the people that work for you, and then they're going to want to keep working for you because you don't want to lose those people.
Yeah. So, whenever I'm here, everybody's, doing their thing and working. Do you guys get a chance to, the Super 32 is the best tournament? Do you guys get the chance to, celebrate the success of the event together? Does the whole team, feel that?
I think so. I think lots of times it's not until later. It's hard to also be celebrating when, as the tournament's winding down, we're still, getting medals out and packing up and doing, and sometimes since we also finish earlier, it's not like the years when we were a one-day tournament. And so by the time we packed up and left the building, it's midnight, 1 a.m., and our tradition then was we'd go to Steak and Shake. It was the only place open, but we'd all go family dinner after the event. And now, since we're done, a reasonable time on Sunday, we're usually packed up and out of here by 8 o'clock or so. We'll go have a dinner together.
Last night out of here at, the wrestling was done by 6 o'clock.
6:15, yeah. But then, again, the crew, the last core group of people here putting those brackets together, it was about 9 or 9:30 when they finally got out, which is still early, but after being here till 1 in the morning that night before and back at 6 in the morning, it's still a long day.
That process must have just really shored up and become clean. I bet you've been here till 3 in the morning or not gone left the building.
Well, yeah, and in the years when it was the one-day tournament, we'd get here Friday morning at 8 o'clock, and we weren't leaving until Saturday night, Sunday morning at 2 a.m. You know, so it was just we were
brutal.
here all night Friday night putting together brackets and not even sleeping at all.
What would you say is messed up the camera? It's still going. I was gonna say, what's like the newest thing that you've learned or that you've improved at this tournament? I mean, you've been doing the tournament since, was it 98, 99?
2000 was when we kind of first started calling it Super
But
32.
it continues to get better. What's like the latest like aha moment?
Well, we've learned, so one thing, it's nice being here in this venue for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that doesn't have to change, you know, but we've discovered a new way. Registration weigh-ins can be chaos, especially with the younger wrestlers who are excited and, you know, run around. And so this year we kind of stumbled into a different way with registration, having the tables kind of pushed up closer to the door so that it isn't, okay, time for weigh-ins, open the doors, and everybody just bum rushes the table. So the people trying to hand out weigh-in cards are getting plowed over by little kids and their
hungry,
parents.
stinky wrestler.
So this way we had people blocking them to put a wristband on away from the table, and then one at a time step up to the table, and then we didn't let parents come into, you know, the big lobby area and then behind the curtains where weigh-ins were, so there were a lot fewer people steamrolling into that area, and that helped a lot. So that was just a big thing this year that worked out a lot better. So we've been doing registration the same way for years, or I'd say registration weigh-ins, I guess. But that was a big improvement this year. So just a little thing, but you know, it made it easier for our staff, because the people that are handing out weigh-in cards, when the wrestlers are just pushing up against the table and trying to grab their wristbands, and you know, it's just a mess.
All right, so as for me, as a novice tournament director, you know, obviously after the event, I see so many things I need to get better on. But what would you say are like the three things, if I was going to allocate some extra energy into three aspects, what would it be?
Staffing, if you consider that an aspect.
Yeah.
Narrowing down who those good people are, how are ways I can take care of them, making sure they have good food to eat, whatever. Second thing, a good website, you know, with all of the information. Now the trick is we have the information, it's pretty easy to find on the website. People still email. So I say having the good website is important, but you also, so having patience, you know, and knowing, okay, people are still not going to find the information, or some people don't want to take the time to read the website. They'd rather just fire off an email and say, what time does wrestling start? Well, look at the website. And then three, this is hard to put me on the spot with three things. Have your tournament near Bojangles, and find someone who will bring you Bojangles. Gosh, there's so many things, but like just three things. I don't know. I can't.
I think Bojangles was number 3.
Okay, there you go.
No, it's not those two. Maybe those were where I'll put some more energy. No, I really appreciate.
Well, I know the big thing is feedback, and we don't have this as much because we took so much feedback early on and adapted to what people said. But we, you know, Dave and I would listen, and when people would email us with reasonable stuff, I mean, obviously somebody's like, oh, you know, this is terrible, but it's just because they maybe they didn't like some particular official or that sort of thing. But as far as, you know, we listened to feedback on ways to make it better, or when we shifted to a 2-day tournament, that was after hearing feedback, and then how can we make this work? How can we make this better? How can we make this better? Don't just be stubborn and do things the way you want to do it. You have to listen to what, you know, the key thing is you want to put on a good event for people. And, you know, people get mad sometimes because we're very firm in our no exceptions to things, and we get all kinds of, I mean, the stories that people email us of these terrible things that have happened to them, and can we please just make an exception? And, you know, sometimes we feel like heartless people.
Yeah.
But if you make an exception for 1 or 2 people, and then that impacts the rest of the tournament, so then the other 2,400 wrestlers, maybe you start late because you let this one kid do something he wanted to do, and then the overall experience for everybody else isn't as good. So that's why you have to stick to saying no, even if you feel like a jerk telling this person who has this horrible story they're telling you. But like, if I let you be the exception, I have to let the other 200 people who want to be an exception, and then the other 2,000 people are affected. So it's just, having your policies and being firm to them to ensure that your event overall runs well, and then people want to come back.
Nice. I think people want to come back.
So that's number 3.
So last question. I've seen Jersey Boys, Away We Go, and School of Rock twice.
Oh.
You
Come From Away? Oh, what is Away We Go?
Away. Sorry, I maybe said the wrong. It's the one where they're on a boat traveling across the ocean.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Man, it's not Away We Go?
I don't know.
Well, I sound really stupid.
I've heard of that
well,
one.
with your knowledge of musicals and me, what would you suggest I go see next on Broadway or the West End?
Come From Away on Broadway.
Come From Away?
It's the best show on Broadway right now. Sorry to the Hamilton fans, and I've seen Hamilton 4 times, but Come From Away is the best thing on Broadway right now.
Awesome. All right. Well, Sara, it's always good to be at Super 32. Thanks for putting your energy into wrestling and providing this awesome experience for everybody. Do you have anything else for us?
No.
All right. Take care.